So a couple of days ago, I did a video where I talked about some other things, but in the video, I did show some ribs that I was cooking for a 4th of July gathering of friends and family, which I talked about. I had someone comment that on that video, and it's there. You can go find it. I didn't pin it, but I didn't remove it. If it's gone, the poster removed it. But the comment said something along these lines. It said, how dare you? There's people starving in the world, and there you are flaunting your blessings. Well, I dedicate this video to you, Mr. Blessing Flaunter charging guy, because I'm about to demonstrate how we're all taking a pay cut and taking it up the rear. This one's for you, buddy. Hope you learned something. Everybody else enjoy and learn something as well. Hey folks, this is the Real World Prepper again. I'm RWP. You can call me RWP or you can call me whatever you like. I have some great news for you. It's actually terrible news. I just took a pay cut, and but the thing is, so did you. Okay, now I'm fancy enough that that I am in direct contact with the White House, with Joe Biden, your president there. He sends me stuff. This is the second such letter that he has sent me. And this one is dated, let's see, what is that? June 25th. So I'm sure many of you have gotten letters from him. I don't feel that special, okay? But the pay cut we took was the first letter like this I got, which was a month or so ago, and many of you can attest to this, I'm sure. You know, about the part of his, Joe Biden's, the American Rescue Plan, right? We needed rescuing from this pandemic, the financial burdens of the pandemic. And so the child credit thing that he did, you know, was going to be, what, totaling $3,000, or I think initially it might have been more. All I know is this. A month ago, I got a letter saying, hey, if you've got a child 6 and under, you're going to get $350 a month. If you got a child 6 to 17, then you'll get $300 a month. Starting July, going through December, and then the rest of it will be available as a tax write-off, tax deduction. Well, the letter I just got today explains that it's $250 now. It's $250 a month for a child between 6 and 17, and $300 for a child under 6. So we've already gotten a pay cut. Now, I'm being satirical here, of course, or you know, sarcastic, whatever you want to call it, because I don't want this money, period. The reason is it's your money and my money, you know, and while I do recognize that there are people that have been affected financially by this pandemic that's gone on, and I'm going to go ahead and say this, they can flag this video, I don't care. Yes, there are people that have financial hardships from that event that's ongoing, and there's people that just have financial hardships in life in general. I get that, okay? I'm not opposed to helping people who need help, who are trying to help themselves. That's a whole nother video to get into the details of that. Maybe I will one day, maybe I won't. It doesn't matter at this point. Okay, so not taking anything away from people who struggle and need help, okay? But for every household, whether you paid taxes or not, whether you are a legal citizen or not, to receive this money based on how many children you've got, and we all know that a lot of people have a lot of children who do not do for themselves or even try to. In fact, there seems to be a business that can be made from for some for having multiple children. Not going to get into that. That's part of the other topic I said we could talk about in another video. Ultimately, I want to say this. This stuff, first of all, I don't like it. I don't like that they've given out all this money that is taxpayer money. And the only thing I can surmise, we already know that there's a bunch of fluff in this American Rescue Plan. It's already been proven. It's already been shown. It's already been exemplified. And if you don't know about it, just do a little digging on your own, and you will find out that there's a bunch of you know, extra pet projects for other people that have nothing to do with helping with relief efforts for people that have been affected and businesses that have been affected through this sickness that we've gone through the last year and a half or whatever it's been. So, yes, there is some money going to some people, but it's much of it is mismanaged, and much of it is going elsewhere, not to better Americans and people who have suffered. Okay, we know that. That's with every bill or budget proposal that comes through. There's a bunch of fat and a little bit of lean meat, right? You know, and just enough to appease. So in this case, what I think is that, what I know is that they haven't decided to reduce the amount of the overall cost of the rescue plan. In fact, I think it's increased. But what this does is if you figure, I tell you what, I'm going to pause this to pull up a statistic. Hold on. All right, for you, that was just like a millisecond, if that. But for me, it was about 3 minutes. Look, I'm going to show you, so if you can see this. There are, looks like it's out of focus, but I'll tell you, from 0 to 5 years old, this is 2019 stats. From 0 to 5 years old, there are 23.6 million kids in the U.S. From between 6 and 11, there's 24.4 million. Again, I think it's out of focus, if you can see that. And 12 to 17, there is even 25 million. Now, that's roughly, let's just say 75 million. 75 million payments from July until December of what was going to be 300 or 350, now is 250 or 300. So that is a tax cut, or rather a pay cut. It's a tax increase for us all that pay taxes, but it's a pay cut, if you want to look at it that way. I'm being facetious here. Of $50, right? Times 75 million. Now let's just do the math, and I'm going to show you here, right? Get the little calculator. We're going to go $50 times $75 million. Okay, $75 million now equals $3.75 billion more that they have to do whatever the heck they want to do with it. Sorry, I would be remiss if I didn't mention this. This part of the segment was recorded after the full video, and I went back and watched it again before I post. I always do that. But that $3.75 billion is based on $50 times the number of children recorded, right? Like I mentioned. Well, that's every month for the next 6 months. So you take that 3.75 billion and you divide, or rather you times it, multiply it by 6 months, and look what you get. $22.5 trillion. So in the next 6 months, $22.5 trillion of your tax relief. Where's that going? Anyway, let's go on. That is going to go to special interests. That is going to go to the CRT taught in your schools. That's going to go to undoing the fabric of society that was built by our forefathers, okay? Imperfect as it may be in some ways, still the best country on earth, if you ask me. Look, I recognize the flaws in the whole thing, okay? But I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. I know that people say that there are other countries that are perfectly fantastic and that are fair and all that business. I don't doubt that, okay? But we are in a country that if we hold it and if we play it right, like we have these many years, let me rephrase that. The status that we have as a country that we've held to some degree over these many years. I totally said it wrong the first time, and I'm probably saying it wrong here now. Probably people could pick this apart. Point is, best country, in my opinion, okay? I'm happy to be here. for as much as they're throttling our freedoms and all of those things that we talk about incessantly on this channel and others, we're still one of the freest countries that I know of, okay? Haven't lived anywhere else. Frankly, haven't traveled abroad much, and I haven't done that in 20 years, even when I did. So, that being said, $3.75 billion by just cutting that back $50 per child, right? Again, just wanted to point out that I have mistakenly left out the fact that it's times 6 months. $22.5 trillion. Continuing. And that's just people who answered the census, I would imagine. That's census data there. So there could easily be another 25 million, 50 million, 75, 100 million more kids, whatever, you know, illegal, or people who didn't take the census, or whatever the case may be. But you get my point, is that there's a lot of pork in this thing, and there's a lot of money going places, and we taxpayers are the ones who are footing the bill. And it's really not just us, because we won't, look at this. Say you take a loan out, you buy your house, right? But say you live in it your whole life, but you never have to finish paying for it, right? That would be a bonus to you in a way, right? Well, in the same way, guess what? You and I, we're not going to have to pay this whole debt. Our children will continue to pay it, and then their children will continue to pay it. This farce of a government, and I'm not just speaking about the current administration. I mean, these kinds of crimes against U.S. citizens, tax-paying, law-abiding citizens, have gone on for decades and then some. But it is certainly being ramped up by this current administration and the liberal lapdogs that are drooling and chomping at the bit to praise these efforts and these, you know, it's just such a good thing. And if you don't think so, then by God, you're a racist, you know, and you're a bigot, and you hate America, and you're just one of those white supremacists, because everything comes back to that, right? So just want to point that out. If you hadn't got your letter yet, your second one, assuming you got the first one, you'll get it soon, and you'll see that you're taking a pay cut. But somebody's getting a bonus. It's not you and I. Just a little something to chew on this Tuesday. Real World Prepper. See you later.